What is up, crypto heads in the land of YouTube? What you see in front of you is the all-time high of Bitcoin back in November of 21, about a year ago. Boom, now we're all the way down here. I figured I'd make this little video about market cycles, how they work. I've seen a lot of the news out there, a lot of the things people are saying. Let's just let's name this video "Play the Game Right or Get Off the Field." Right? Either start to buy now when there's panic and fear, buy into the panic, buy into the fear down here. And when you're up here, you sell into the euphoria, right? You sell into the thrill, euphoria. And down here, you buy. It's an odd feeling. It's an odd feeling to be buying, to be putting money into something when there's so much negativity, right? But that's just that. If you're going to play the game, that's what you have to do, right? Otherwise, get off the field, right? Don't play. Don't play this game if you don't do it like this. So I got a few little handy dandy charts here. Thought I'd have a look. We'll get back to this one here in a second. This is Robinhood, 5-year chart. Far left here is the last halving cycle, hype pump, and here's the one we've just went through. And now we're entering the panic phase. The depths of the bear winter are about to hit. So, like if we went back here 4 years ago, for those of you who don't know, Bitcoin goes in 4-year cycles, and I do believe the cycle is going to the winter is going to get shorter and shorter. We'll see how it goes. I do believe the next hype pump will start sooner on like a logarithmic scale. We'll get into that here in a second. I don't want to make this video too long, just a few minutes here, maybe 10 minutes or so. Keep your attention. But I do believe we're entering right here, right? If we could go back in time, this is about where we're at currently right now, right here. Entering this section where you should be buying if you're going to play the game. Now, this isn't a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee in life. But if you're going to play the game, play it right. This is where you should start buying. See how it's working? The strong hands sell up here. I know there's a little difference in what people are telling you. I haven't watched those other videos from people on YouTube in a long time. Some of them are high quality. Some of them kind of have it backwards, right? You don't buy up here and then hold all the way down and say, be told that's strong hands. That's not strong hands. That's weak hands. If you're buying up here and selling in a panic, that's weak hand, right? Strong hands buy down here. They sell up here or just hold forever. That's also a good thing to do with crypto. If you buy and just hold for tens of years, that's cool too. But don't don't buy up here and sell down here, right? You want to be panic selling now? No, you want to be buying. So either don't play the game, just get out of the game, or play it right. Here's a logarithmic scale. Oops, I just realized I got my bookmarks in there. Let's get rid of my bookmarks. Okay, here's a logarithmic scale. Just 12 short years ago. If you see up here in the left-hand corner, the price is kind of small, but you can see the date and stuff. See why I'm moving my cursor up on the left-hand corner. It's changing. The Bitcoin price was under 1 penny back in 2010. See how it's working? Look at it. Look at it. Here, let's go here. This is 2013. This is the first halving cycle pump, and went up to like it's 2011. That's where it pumped up to like $20. Here's the first halving cycle pump. Let's kind of do this double whammy here, kind of like what we just went through. It's just much more exaggerated because the price was so much smaller. It went up to about $1,000. We'll just say 1,000 to keep it simple. It's a 4-year cycle. This is a logarithmic scale. I'll show you what this looks like in a normal scale here in a second. But if you notice the prices here, they start real small, and then see like the very top line of this would be the very top line here would be like $100,000 Bitcoin. So here's $1,000 Bitcoin, and then the next halving cycle, right? This is the bear winner I was just showing on Robinhood. This is where you should be buying, and that's why this is a good idea. You don't have to sell ever in the history of cryptocurrency. See how this is working? This is 4 years ago. Well, now it's 5 years ago, but this was the previous halving cycle where it pumped to 20,000. See that? Boom, and see how it's working? Going to the bear winner here, and then here's the last halving cycle we just went through. The halving was like right here after the COVID dump in this general area. And then boom, there it is. There's the next hype cycle. And then we've dumped down here. We're sitting at 20,000 right now. See, that's our 17, 16,000 right now. So that's working. I do believe Bitcoin, the lowest Bitcoin is going to go is probably $10,000 is probably the lowest it will go. And I don't think it'll stay down there long. It might take a lot of runs at it, but that should be good support. See how it's working. The previous end of the last bear market was right in that general area. I do believe that's a natural spot for it to bounce. And there's going to be a lot of buying going on, right? That's what I'm saying. This is where the strong hands will be buying, right? So that's a logarithmic scale. That's kind of interesting. So the next pump will probably go, like, see my cursor's way off here to the right. It'll probably just go a little bit above this top line. See how the waves are getting smaller and smaller. That's just because the amount of money is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So for the first halving cycle pump was about 1,000, and then about a 20x was the next one, and then this one we just went through was about 3.5. Now it's only a 2.5. That's only 19x gain and a 2.5x gain, but 3.5. Multiply 20 times 3.5, you get about 70,000, give or take. And I think the next one's going to be like a 1x. You say 2x, like 70,000 times 2 is 140. That's not 2x, it's 1x. So people kind of get caught up in that. I see a lot of people saying the wrong thing if you want to get real technical. But like a 1, I think 140,000, which would be just a little bit above this top line. See this? See that's working? Like 90,000 is way here. And the top line's about 100. So 140 would just be just kind of like right here where my cursor's at, right? So this is a logarithmic deal. And out in here somewhere, eventually, Bitcoin should find a supply crunch where the supply of Bitcoin runs out. That's when it'll get real interesting. That's when it's got a shot to go to like $1 million. It might take a while, but 400,000, $500,000, it could get here a lot sooner than people think. If that happens, right? Supply crunch could get really, really, really crazy. I want to show you this one here. This one's pretty cool. These are all like this is the history of Bitcoin. I was just showing you a logarithmic scale. Now this is the linear, and I've got these events on here. So there's 2010 where Bitcoin came, and here's that first little halving cycle pump. See how small it is right there? But that made people gazillionaires, right? And then here's the bear market we should be buying, and there's the next one, boom. And then here's the bear market we should be buying, and the next one, boom, right? And the next, see how it's working? And the next bear market will probably be between 10 and 20, right? So it is getting higher and higher. And then the next pump will probably be like 140, right? That's just my guess. I think it's probably going to be pretty good, about 140,000. But we'll see when we get there. But anyways, I got all these dates on here, like Elon Musk adds Bitcoin to his Twitter. Tesla buys a 1.5 billion. Canada approves their first ETF. Square buys 170 million. All these different news events, right? And when I first got into this, I thought it was only the news, right? And this technical stuff and these cycles, it doesn't matter. It's all based on news, right? News. And only the news is doing it, right? And that is true. The news does do this. It causes these pumps and it causes the dumps. This is the Coinbase debut. Hit 63,000, give or take. And then up here was the ETF. It's not a real Bitcoin ETF. That's where we set the all-time high, like 70,000. And then there's some other ones in here. This person did it. There was like a fake story once that made Bitcoin fall 20%. So, but what I've been kicking around is just really interesting, right? I just was convinced that it's just the news doing it. Right? It's just the news doing it, right? This. But then I found this here. And I started talking about this when this is almost a spitting image of what the Bitcoin cycle we just went through. See how it comes up. This is like the Coinbase IPO. And then, Elon Musk did this and this, this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then here's the ETF. And, it wasn't a real ETF of Bitcoin. It's just the cash equivalence, paper ETF. But, and there it was here, boom, right, and there it is, boom, and then this is kind of where we're at. We're in here. We're right about in through here somewhere. I would suspect that's not perfect, but we've been following this for over 2 years now. This would be like October of 2020, November of 2020, and through here, and then here's the pump where Elon Musk added Twitter or Bitcoin to his Twitter and blah, 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 yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So, but this is a cycle. This is a chart from like 4 or 8 years ago. I'm not sure where it was from, which crypto, but look at that, right? And it's basically followed this to the T. It's not like a carbon copy, but it's basically Bitcoin, the cycle we just went through. There it is, right? The dead cat bounce goes up just a touch higher, following the green, right? And then the purple is just kind of a, just kind of the flow of it. And but it's been over 2 years, and it's just almost perfect. And we're right about it through here somewhere. So this is the panic phase, right? It's probably coming down here at about 10,000, make up, run toward 20 and fail. And this is probably the bear market leading into the next cycle pump over here to the right. And this we pop out, look over here, right? Oh, recovery. Oh, optimism. Ha ha ha. Blah blah blah. Yeah, blah blah, and do it all over again. So, what's up, George? And then how did I get on there? Oh, and I just thought that's interesting, right? Because, right, it's is it all these news events? So obviously, it's not just the news. This is following a technical somehow, right? It's kind of borders like on quantum mechanics, right? Where Einstein was talking about the fuzzy, what was it? What do you call it? The quantum entanglement, where from great distances particles react to each other and this and that. I mean, it's kind of along those ideas. If you've ever heard an explanation, a brief explanation for morons like myself on quantum mechanics, it's almost like that, right? If the news is causing all those dumps and pumps, then what, how can it possibly be covered? This has almost been followed to a T for over 2 years, right? We're right about it through here right now. So, so how can it possibly be the news events, right? If it's almost so perfect, right? Here's just a general psychology. This isn't cryptocurrency. This is just the normal stock market. It's basically the same deal. It's the psychology of a hype pump, market cycle, right? And we're basically kind of right in through this area, right about in through here. Panic, right? We're a little below denial, panic capitulation. There's probably anger about to ensue, and depression. And if you read this stuff here, my retirement money's gone, and this, who shorted the market? How did the government allow this to happen? Everyone's selling. I'm getting out. I can't afford to lose more. And that's how it works, right? And people sell for enormous losses here just to watch this start to come here, and then see we're over on the right, and then it pops over here and left, and we do it all over again. Disbelief. This rally will fail. Blah, blah, blah. The recovery is possible. Oh, the optimism. The rally is real. Time to get fully invested. I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. I am a genius. We're all going to be rich. Boom! Little dead cat bounce. We just need to cool off. I mean, it just follows. If you've been following Bitcoin for a couple of years, this is just exactly what we've just went through, right? Boom! Oh, anxiety. Why am I getting margin calls? This dip's taking longer than expected. Boom! Right? Oh, denial. My investments are with great companies. In this case, it's Bitcoin, but they will come back and, oh no, everyone's selling. I need to get out. I'm getting all the way out of the market, so I can't afford to lose more. Who did this? Blah, 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 he, blah, 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 he, blah, blah, blah. This is like 6 years from now, after we go through the next one. I don't want to get confusing. This is like where we're at now, right through here, right? And this is what the next 10, 12 months is probably going to look like, something along these lines. And then here comes the next halving cycle with Bitcoin. And boom, if you want to play the game, this is how you play it, folks. Be buying right now. That's why dollar cost averaging is such a good idea, is because say you have I wanted to show you. Found this site the other day when I was looking for a halving clock. Now the halving is not a set time. It just goes by the amount of blocks and how soon. This is moving up quicker. It's slated for March 24th, 2024. They say anywhere between like February and July of 2024. But I've noticed this has been pushed up all the way up to March 24. So it does appear to be happening a little sooner. So here's the Bitcoin halving clock. The link for this is down in the description. This site, if you want to check it out, it's pretty cool. 484 days. If you want to play, there's neat little information down here if you want to check that out. I don't want to get too far into it. Here's another like a logarithmic scale here. The blue vertical lines are the halving events. See, halving, pump, bear market, halving, pump, bear market, halving, pump, bear market. We're just coming into, right? So the next halving, pump is what it should do. So it's probably going to go from like 10,000 to 140,000 ballpark, which would be a 14x, 13x gainer. And that's not too shabby. And I'm buying chain link, so hopefully I get a bigger pump out of chain link and like Neo, some of the smaller ones. But watch out for, you do want to own Bitcoin, because if it comes to a supply crunch sooner than later, you will regret not owning some Bitcoin. I promise you that. I do promise you that. And as well as I can show my bookmarks, it's not that big of a deal. If you're going to play the game correctly or get off the field. That's what this video is called, I guess. So there it is, right? Oh, here's one thing I want to show. This is pretty cool. Let's flip it. Let's go to Femex here. Let's expand this out. Okay, this is the all-time high, 70,000 right here, about a year ago. Almost, shoot, look at it, almost a year ago to the day. Oh, no, November 9th. A year and a couple weeks ago. But here it is, right? For those of you watching my videos, I've got this little channel. It's not a great technical channel, but I'm watching it, and it's kind of riding this dotted line down. If we were going to bump at 20,000, it's probably going to happen September, October, November, probably before the year 2023. That's just a total guess. So don't make any plans on that. But following this channel, see, it's been in this channel for 8 months now, so it'll be 8 months pretty soon. But this is something I'm kicking around. So 10,000 would be 2023. 20,000 would be before the end of this year. If it's going to hit 20,000 and fail, but I shouldn't even talk about that. Let's get out of here. What I want to show you is, this is the big dump Oli, right? This is the big dump Oli coming into the panic phase. I'm probably not quite at the panic phase. We're probably pretty close. Maybe at the panic phase. Maybe the anger phase is about to come in. But I don't see it going too far past this where it's at now. I see it bouncing at 10, 11, 12,000 because there's just going to be a lot of buying going on, man, from people that are getting more experienced, and there's not going to be a whole lot of left people to sell, right? There's not going to be a whole lot more people to be selling at that level. So even though you might be told that, right? There's going to be people out there, they're trying to scare you. They're doing everything they can to scare you because they like doing that, because they make money off scaring you. They want you to sell, and they want you to panic sell so they can buy Bitcoin at $8,000, right? That's why they want to do that. So invert this. Let's invert this. So I was talking about the market psychology, right? Play the game or get off the field. Either one's fine. I don't care what you do. But if you're going to play the game, play it right. This is where you should start to be buying. Dollar cost averaging is not a bad idea. So I want to invert this. I'm going to invert this. Boom. Look at that. See, I just flipped it upside down. So here's the all-time high, right? 70,000 right here. So if you invert this and you just gave it to people that don't know, to the general public, and you just flipped up, if you flip these things upside down and gave them to the general public, they'd all be multimillionaires, right? Because what they would do is they would be panic selling right now, right where we're at now. See how it's working, right? Just for an example, these dates aren't perfect or anything, but right, they'd be panic selling right here, and here's the bear winner, and they'd be panic selling here, and then here, oh, well, no, it's awesome again. It's awesome again. They buy. I'll be buying all through here. This is the top, right? They'd be buying the top, and then boom, it dives back down, right? After the next cycle. Boom! And it goes all the way back down here, and then they panic sell down here, right? So technically, the scale, this is inverted, right? This just drives the idea home, right? They'd be selling the top, which is the bottom, and they'd be buying the top, which is the bottom. Did I say that right? They'd be selling the top right here, and then they'd be buying the bottom right here, right? So that's how you got to flip-flop it. It's really kind of hard thing to think about, Boom. Okay, now here's reality. Here's the all-time high where public was getting sucked in up here to buy, and then they write it down. I can't take it no more. I'm selling. Sell, sell, sell. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. It's gonna get outlawed. Right. And then just for the next halving cycle to come in, and it pumps up to 140K, right? That's what it's been doing since 2009, 2010, when Bitcoin was invented. Keep in mind, Bitcoin was less than a penny 12 years ago, give or take. And would you have liked to own 10,000 Bitcoin, right? For a few bucks or whatever it would be, right? So think like that. Well, don't think about that because those days are over. But there's lots of opportunity, man. This is still the early days, right? It's still the Wild West, the early days of this stuff. This is, if you think the internet and the computers are going to be around in the future, then this is always going to be around. There's nothing anyone can do about it. Oh, I bought more. I bought more Chainlink from my last video. I bought it $6.11. I bought more at like $5.86 or something when a little dive right after my last video, and it's since come back up to like Chainlink has come back up to like 680 or so. So oh yeah, well that's what I want to say. Oh, I want to go back to that. Let's go back. Bitcoin halving clock. So here's a good example, right? If you had say you had $5,000 of disposable income right now, and you want to invest in something, a good way to do it would be just to set it. You buy $10 of Bitcoin or Chainlink or whatever your high quality crypto is, Ethereum, one of the big names. You could just be Bitcoin if you want. Say you have $5,000. Just say this is 500 days right here instead of 484. So $10 a day. Or say you have $4,840 of disposable income and you want to invest. So like if you took $10 and just set it to where you bought $10 of Bitcoin, say like at high noon every day or whatever time, just $10 of Bitcoin every day for the next 484 days, you'd probably be extremely, 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 extremely happy with what will happen to that to your money, right? There's no guarantees, but if you don't want to play the game, get off the field. If you want to play the game, then do it right, folks? That's what you're talking about here. If you have $484, then buy $1 of Bitcoin a day, right? Just use money that you can afford to lose, that you don't need. This is money that you can let sit there for 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 30 years. You can play it tons of different ways, right? So, but that's why everyone talks about dollar cost averaging. Like just stick $10 a day in every day for the next 500 days, and you will likely be a very, very happy camper, right? That's how you play the game. If you're brand new to this, that's the plan. That was one of the things I first learned when I got into this a while back. Well, I was invested in a company called Fuel Cell when it was like at 29 cents. And it went on this amazing run. And before it went on this amazing run, I got scared out of people making up false stories, right? They literally do it on purpose, right? There's people out there shorting the crypto space right now, right? And they want to scare you, right? They want you to be scared. They want you to sell. That's what they want you to do. But if you want to play the game, what should you be doing right now? We're right in through here. We're right around through here, somewhere in this ballpark on this chart, right about through here, right? What do you want to be doing, right? Should you be panic selling? What do you think? Right? And then we come over to the right, and then pops over here on the left. Here's what I'm talking about. Like the next halving cycle will be right in here. Here's 480 days from now, right in through here. Right here's 500 days in the future, right? If we're off here to the left, here's the halving cycle. Say it's right here, and this is what happens. Right? This is hype, and there's so many people involved on YouTube and social media now. The next hype cycle is probably going to be huge. Oh, there was a Time magazine. This is what I want to show. I saw this in Walmart the other day. Let me show you this. So people are actually selling this on eBay and Amazon and stuff already. This is still on the shelves. I was at Walmart the other day and I walked past. I saw this. This is Time magazine. This is. I almost made a video just on this one subject. That's Time magazine, the ultimate guide to cryptocurrency. This is where the common folk get into it, right? When Time magazine, right? When there's money to be made, that the big players will get in and push this, right? Just because there's money to be made. And this is Time Magazine, so boomers and people my age, I'm Generation X, and people older than me and older than boomers, that's when I'll start trusting it. Time Magazine, right? That's that's a this is a wonderful thing, right? That just pretty much explains it to me. I look at this and I know what the next high price cycle is going to be. It's going to be crazy, but unfortunately, it's going to follow that logarithmic scale, right? But it's still probably Bitcoin's probably going to be a 13x profit over the next 2.5, 3 years, ballpark. It's kind of hard speculating, but this is the kind of stuff, right? It's being adopted. It's real. There's nothing anyone can do about it. It's being adopted. So there's a big future, a big future in this stuff. And that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up, man. It's got too long. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching again. Later.